Hey, welcome to part 7.3. 7.3 because on 7, when I pulled my mic, the sound went like this. And then on the 7.2, when I tried to reload it, what was it? Oh, the OBS, it was default on the sound on the mic, so it looked like this. And that's why I couldn't apparently put those 2 episodes out anyway. So the 2 episodes were from Darlington, Boston, and then the last one was going to be the York game, and hopefully I was looking to win the Vanarama League North at this point, but as it was, we finished second, and then we went on to the Chester 6-1 win semi-final, and then we beat York 2-1. Both of these games were at home because we finished second, so we didn't have to do the whole go away thing, so that was always good, and apparently it worked out great. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to move straight into the transfers for this season. Just quickly go through those that were released. So we had Gary Jones, who retired, tried to coax him out of it, but he didn't want none of it. Darren Knights, Ellis Deeney, Brendan Daniels, Zach Lilly, Reece Taylor, all of them not that great. So anyway, here we go. Transfers we've brought in then. So as you can see, we've got a couple, 3 of them on loan, the rest of them on freeze. A couple of them, obviously we couldn't skate them fully, so we'll just get straight into it. So Blackburn, George Wilson, my ball-winning midfielder. As you can see, mentals and physicals are pretty damn good for this kind of level, and I was lucky to get him from Blackburn because there was a couple of clubs in for him. So there's one. Jordan Graham from Mansfield, striker. He's young, and he was one of the first I think I brought in, along with the guy from Blackburn. I was looking for an extra striker and 2 midfielders, a left back, a right back, a centre back. So pretty much a whole team, because as you may be aware from the last season, we didn't really have that much depth. So here we are. So he's got what he needs in the right sort of areas, you know, the striking, decisions, composure, anticipation, etc. Got what he needs in the right areas. Right, Ryan Williams, relatively new one. He is a bit more matured. On loan from Yeovil. Took me about 3 attempts, I think, to get him because Yeovil didn't actually want to part with him, and hence why it's cost me a couple £100 a month. I think they only wanted £120 of his wages, but I put it up to £180 worth of his wages, and so I think it's actually worth it in terms of what he brings to the table. Physicals could be a bit more desired, but the rest of it more than makes up for that. Connor Brown, more of a backup for the right back. But, you know, he's got what he needs in the right places, so we're all good there. Harry Spratt. Again, he's a bit of a starter. The only thing I think he's got on Konchesky is his speed. Other than that, he's not as good as Konchesky, but he will be starting a lot more games than Konchesky, I think, this season, due to him being a young guy and trying to pick up the pace a bit with Konchesky. James Comley, who recently got into a bit of a spat because I brought somebody else into midfield after I brought this guy in. Bearing in mind I brought this guy in, I think, on a free. Yeah, on a free. After one of my guys spotted him, and it's like, you know what, he might be good. So I was like, all right, let's take a punt, see what happens. Punt turned out all right. He's just going to be literally a deep line playmaker, so he's just going to ping balls where we need them. Physicals again, because he's sort of getting on a little bit, not great, but don't need to worry about that. Ray Sullivan, my right back, I believe. Yep, right back. So marking, tackling, heading. When I was going for my defenders, all I wanted was the heading, the tackling. A work rate and a bit of a determination was roughly where I was going, but that was my main sort of focus, the heading and the tackling. The rest of it was a bit more of a desired sort of effect. But physicals looking good. A couple of technicals decent, and a couple of decent mentals there. So, and he can also play centre back, I believe. Yeah, so he can play centre back as well. Will Forrester I got, but I've loaned him out to Kettering because he was more of a backup at that point. Ben Patton, again, apparently, where do you play football? Yes. So he's one of those. But his physicals and mental, really good for a 19-year-old, as are his mentals. You know, his technicals, a bit more of a desired effect. Lovely sort of couple of things I could do with, but you know, there or thereabouts, and I think he could be a great prospect for the future. Lewis White, another striker, right winger, but I will be playing as a striker. He's young, he's got a bit of pace, he's got a bit of acceleration, he's off the ball and his decisions are pretty good, his heading and his technique's pretty good, which kind of makes up for his lack of finishing in my books. That was the thinking in my head anyway, so we'll go with that. I mean, his composure's, there's a bit more to be desired there, but you know, as long as you're getting your head to the ball, it's one of those, isn't it? And George Marsh then. So, also got him on a free, ball-winning midfielder. Some really good attributes going on here. So that's the team then. So what we're going to do is we're going to rock straight through. These are the loans that I think I've put out, and then Henry Cowens also I just got rid of because I didn't really have a position for him in the team, and I'm not playing that anything. So all I'm playing is a 4-3-3 and that. So just in case you're interested, I have updated some of my staff. A couple of the staff have left as well, just in case anyone was wondering and it wanted to know. Right then, so going into the fixtures. This is how our season started. So we've had Newcastle, we lost 4-0. Northley 5-2 win, Crystal Palace 2-1 loss, Southend 5-3 loss, West Ham 6-3 loss, Taunton 7-2, Sunderland 2-2, which was a smashing victory in my books. Grays 3-0 win, Southampton lost 3-0, Shawbury won 4-0, and Worcester won 4-0. Going by that, I feel like we could have a really good year. So we'll sort of see how it goes, and hopefully things will go well. So I might start. In fact, no, I'm gonna leave him off for the time being. A couple of players injured. Comley's unhappy. I'm not sure why. I've made some promises that I'm not sure about. I don't think so. So it's just a fact. He's just not happy. So that's okay. Auto number. Submit numbers. Right then, let's get into it. So then, going straight into the dressing room, we want to give him a bit of an encouragement. Okay, yeah, so we're going to be the underdogs, I think, for the first game. Always are, because the board wanted to avoid relegation. So, let me just slow that down a bit, because I forgot that's obviously the speed for the friendlies. I think that's it. Should be okay. Oh, yeah. So, our keeper as well. Obviously, we lost Bursick, and I could not get him back in. But this is our keeper, 16 years old. Look at these attributes from the youth team, no less. He's already pre-signed a contract to keep him at the club for 3 years, plus a club optional extra contract extension of 2 years. So, the fact we ain't got Bursick back, it's not that really much of a problem, I don't think, so we should be okay. A couple of things just to mention that we missed when we was going through was I did put in to buy the stadium because it was council owned. They agreed that they were going to buy it, and then about a month before it was due to be brought, they said they didn't have the money, this, that and the other, and so they pulled out, and I've not been able to put that back in to try and buy the stadium again since then, so here we are. Let's get creative, let's see what happens. We really should win this. I think we've done really well in pre-season. I don't see why we shouldn't do good in the season, to be honest with you. And it goes out for a corner. Alright, that's not so bad. Hopefully the camera's back down in the bottom right hand corner as you're looking at it, so that shouldn't be too bad. Alright then, as we go out, inspired by the feedback and Shane. Okay, we're going to try a short pass in the play apparently. Seems to be a better thing to go for at the minute. So again, obviously all we've got to do is avoid relegation, but I would love to aim for a top half finish if I'm honest. And I think we have got the players to be more than capable of doing it. So, yeah. I didn't check where Crawley were meant to finish. We have a 200 to 1 chance of winning the title. And I think it was a 2 to 1 to get relegated. Leamington are 1 to 5 to get relegated. And they won the title, obviously. So, yeah, almost half time, 0-0. I don't know where Crawley are meant to be finishing, so I suppose as it is, it's not too much, not too bad. We have been the better team. I believe we have been the better team. So I will passionately say you weren't that bad, but there's still room for improvement. And onwards and upwards, I guess. Leamington are losing 2-0. So that's good, I guess. How we're looking on fitness. 66. It's pretty low. 64. I think we're going to have a look at switching over Denanga there. Lewis White. So Denanga can come off. You are going to play as a... Yeah, screw it, you can play that. And then... I've not got the people on the bench that I would like to have on the bench apparently. So, we'll roll with it. 63%. Yeah, he's looking a bit exhausted. We are going to have to change him over. 63%. There we go, let's have a look at that. Go to the tactics. I can't get to the tactics. And then hopefully we can have a look at changing up what his role is. Alright then, Comley to Williams, who passed it to Marsh. Marsh back to Comley. Spratt now with the shot. Ooh, goes wide. Not a bad effort, but out wide it goes. Right, tactics. Yep, okay, so what we'll do is we'll pass to the playmaker. And we'll go with that. Confirm changes. Shout. Get creative. And we'll see where this goes. So it's only going to be the one game today. Then we'll come back afterwards for obviously 2 matches. Signing wise, I think that's me done for the transfer window. I don't think I'm going to get any more loans in. No more transfers. Stuff like that. They gave me a budget of 154,000. Rose Sullivan's looking knackered apparently. Yes, he is. So we'll bring in Connor Brown. They gave me 154,000. Pretty much I put it down to 0. And just put the wages up a bit. So I feel like that was probably a better plan because obviously. That's unlucky. That's really unlucky. Hang on. Right, we're going to have to go underlap, overlap. Run at the defence. Tempo, urgent. Passing. Right. To the top. Shoot on sight. Done. There's no target man, so we'll go with that. Yep. Let's see how this plays out. We've got about 3 or 4 minutes, no doubt, so we'll see what happens. There we go, 4 minutes extra time. May as well try and get the points. If we're going to lose 2-0, then we're going to lose 2-0, aren't we? I don't know. Crawley might be the guys that are expected to go back up. I'm not sure. So we'll have a quick look after this, just to see what the season previews are. We'll go from there. Yep, there we go. So 2-0. Can't really argue. It was very disappointing. Alright, so we'll have a quick look at the season preview. Where did I find it? Season preview. Okay, so season preview shows that Crawley are actually going to be meant to be finishing top of the group, top of the league. Like, so I think that, considering we lost 2-0, that wasn't actually that bad of a loss, in fairness. I don't think. I think we did pretty damn well. I think we did really well there, so I can't really be too angry about it. Anyway, hopefully when we come back, we will come back for the Tranmere and Eastleigh game. Alright, guys. Alright then, so if you've liked this episode, and I'm sorry it took so long for it to get back out, hopefully you enjoyed this new thumbnail, which was going to be for part 7, but as it is, it's part 7.3. So, apologies. So, yeah. If you like this episode, leave a thumbs up. Drop a comment, criticise. I'm good for constructive criticism. Maybe drop a sub, see what happens. Alright guys, thank you. Thank you very much. See you soon. Right, save that there.
Revenge of the Mac, brother, here. We gotta shoot it together.